Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi and this is the part 2 for the cat plot which we just seen. Okay, we were just seeing the cat plot, that what are the subplots which we have inside the cat plot, and this is the part 2 for that specific video. So today I'm going to tell you the rest like the rest 4 to 5 plots which are just left for that cat plot. So I'm just going to introduce you to them and show you that basically how we can just make that plots within using the Cbound library, right? Let me quickly give you a quick revision that we have imported 4 libraries and these were NumPy, Panda, Cbound and matplotlib.pyplot. Okay, and even we have given the short forms to these libraries and they were just followed as NumPy, PD, NP, PD, SNS and PLT, right? I'm not gonna give all these things in very detail because I have already told this in detail in the very first part of this video. For the cat plot, I have just in the first part for this cat plot, I have told everything in very detail. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat that things right now. Let me quickly go to the downside and here what I'm going to tell you. Okay, so this was the definition which I just told you something about that cat plot. This function provides access to several access level functions that show the relationship between a numerical and a categorical variable using one of the several visual representations. Fine, so this was the definition which I just told you that basically what is this cat plot used for, right? And then what we have seen a cat plot for the swarm. The kind for this cat plot was swarm. What next we have seen? Okay, hold on, just let me go down. Yeah, so next which we have seen was the violin plot. Okay, so the spelling I had made wrong in the last video, that was violin. So you also just keep that thing in mind. Okay, now let me quickly start writing the things for today, and today I'm just going to discuss 4 which are left. The first one is the bar plot, second is strip, third is box, and fourth is point. Fine, so I'm just going to discuss all of these things today. Fine, let's get started by writing. So I will just write SNS dot and here I will just write cat plot first. Okay, SNS dot cat plot. Now inside this brackets, firstly what I'm going to give the data, right? So the data in which I have read my data from the Cbound library. So the variable for that is t, right? So I will just write data is equal to t. Now comma. Now x is equal to okay. So here firstly what I would just give, I would just give kind. Okay, so I would just give kind is equal to bar. Now for now I would just firstly make the kind to is equal to bar. So basically what I would be getting, the cat plot, the output for the cat plot in the form of bars. Fine, that is fine. So kind is equal to bar. Now what next I have basically here, next I have that I need to just write x and y axis. Okay, so I would just put a comma, I would just write x is equal to, I would just take as the same which we were just dealing, because I don't want to confuse you while using different columns for now. We'll be just seeing different columns and more things in the further videos. Okay, so here I will just want to give you a proper idea that basically what is a cat plot and what are the kinds which you can just include in this cat plot. Fine, so x is equal to d and what I just write for y, I will just write as total bill. So it's total underscore bill. Now, so this is done. Now what I would just use, I would just score I would just run that. Fine. So here what I have. Okay, so here I have these 4 bar plots and they are basically total bill and day. Fine. So these are the bar plots bars which I am having, which are used basically. This is a cat plot and that is basically represented in the form of the bars. You can just say all the things like that. Fine. Now what next I have? Next I have okay, so one parameter is just left. Okay, let me quickly go to the previous bar plot which we have made. Okay, so you can see that this is the bar plot basically in previously whatever we have made, right? But now here what I have just changed, I have changed even the values and even the everything is changed for this. Fine. Now we have one more parameter in this kind is equal to bar. Let me quickly show that. So I will just write SNS dot and cat plot. So basically the ones who are just seeing my video from the very starting and just following all the series, you must have guessed that what will be the next parameter which I'm just going to tell, and yeah, I just hope that you have guessed the right thing. So data is equal to t and I will just write firstly as kind. So kind is equal to bar. Fine. Now what I would just write, I would just add x. So x is equal to here I would just I would add day. So that is day. Now I will just write y. So for y what I would just do, let me do one thing, let me just zoom in a little bit more, I hope. Right, so now I hope it is more clearer and more finer, right? So x is equal to day and y is equal to total underscore bill. Okay, and the parameter which I was saying, that is not smoker, that is hue. and hue is equal to smoker. Okay, now we'll just run that. So here what just I get, now you can see like all the bars which I am getting, they are basically divided into two things. One, the blue one is that smoker is yes on this particular day and the total bill is this much, and basically the orange one is no, that no, the smoker is not and the bill was particularly this much. Fine. So like this is the idea about plotting this bar plot. Now so this was about plotting this bar. Fine. Now what I would just like take next. I would just like next I would take as, okay, I would be just dealing with stripplot. Now stripplot is one of the next plots which we are just seeing. So sns dot cat plot. Okay, I would just write here as data is equal to t. Now I would just add kind. Okay, so kind is equal to, and I would just write as strip. Okay, I'll just put the semicolon strip. Fine, I would just give the x and y value. So the value for x would be day. Fine. And the value for y would, okay, I would just write here as y is equal to, value for y would be total underscore bill. This is okay. Now what next I have? Next I have, yeah, that is all. Afterwards I would just add that smoker function, right? So this is basically how we make a strip plot. Now let's quickly see that what's the difference between the swarm and the strip plot. So inside the swarm plot we have like something like it is made like a tree, like right, something a tree. But in the strip plot we do not have like these things. We have simply the dots which are just in a straight line. So this is a strip plot. Fine. So this is basically how we just make a strip plot, and this is basically how a strip plot looks like. Let me add that next parameter to it. So I would just write sns dot cat plot. Okay, sns dot cat plot. I would just write the bracket. Again, I would just write data is equal to t. I would just put a comma. Then kind is equal to strip. Right? Kind is equal to strip. Now what I would just write, I would just give the value for x. X is d, and y is equal to total bill. So that's total underscore bill. And I will add okay, hue is equal to smoker. So you can just like take different more things. Okay, fine. So here I just added the hue is equal to smoker. So I just got that the smoker like yes, the smoker was this much on this particular day and the total bill was this much, and no, and yeah, this things. Okay, fine. This is basically how this like a strip plot looks like. Now what next plot we have? Next plot which I have a box plot. Fine. So the kind for this plot is box. So I will just write sns dot, okay, not act, it is cat. Okay, sns dot cat plot. I would just take data is equal to t, and now I would just write here as kind is equal to, and here I would just write bo. Okay, kind is equal to box. Fine, kind I have just given as box, and I would just keep this inside the, okay, I would just keep this thing inside the semicolons itself. Fine. So yeah, now let's put a comma. I would just write x is equal to, this is x is equal would be day. I would just write y is equal to will be total underscore bill, bill. Fine. And I would just like, now I would just give the smoker also this side only. Fine. So I would just write a smoker is hue is equal to smoker. Okay, hue is equal to, and then smoker. I will just run that thing. Okay. So this is basically how a box plot looks like, and basically what are these lines, what are these dash inside this box plot. So I'm not going to explain this thing right now because I have already made a very detailed video on this box plot inside my statistics playlist. Okay, so you can just go to my statistics playlist and there you can just search about the box plot. There you will just get that what this line means, that what horizontal lines means, what these vertical lines means, basically why this straight line is written in the middle, and all that things you will just get to know very clearly. Fine. So I'm not going to tell these things right now. So this is about the like box, and I have now my last kind. Okay, I would just write here sns dot, and that is a point plot. Okay, point. So I would just write sns dot cat plot. Here I would just write again data is equal to t, then I would just write kind is equal to point. Okay, point. Now what else I have? I have x is equal to d. Fine. What I have y is equal to total underscore bill, and the next I have hue is equal to smoker. Run. Okay, here you will just get a point plot. Okay, so this is basically how a point plot looks. It looks interesting, right? So whenever we are just going to study the whole detail about the scatter plot, it will like take a wonderful time, and like it is interesting. It looks basically interesting, right? So smoker yes, so this blue lines, smoker no, these orange, yeah, it looks wonderful. Okay. So these are the basically like kinds which we have inside the cat plot. Fine. So these are the kinds like which we have inside the cat plot, and I have just taken the same column and the same columns for the demonstration of all these kinds. So let me quickly again show you all of these. So first one was a swarm, second one was a violin, third one was the bar, fourth one was the strip, fifth one was the box, and sixth one was the point plot. So these were the 6 kinds which we have inside the cat plot. Fine. So here we have completed this cat plot kinds, that basically whatever the kinds are in the cat plot, we have just completed all of that things in today's video. Now what I would do is I would just show you all of the plots which we have made till now. So these were the plots. First one was the scatter plot which we have just seen in the very first video, and then I have just introduced you to some parameter. First was hue, then moving towards the, yeah, I have just taken to hue, and what was the else was size also. Then we were having style, yeah, style, size, and all that things. Okay, I just told you about this legend one which we have used from the matplotlib library. What else I was having? And yeah, I was having reg rich plot. After that, I just told you the difference between rich plot and that scatter plot. Then basically what I have just one more parameter inside this rich plot, and that was marker. I just told you that thing. After that, we move towards the line plot. So these were the line plots which we have made, and inside that also we have seen several parameters, hue and style. And after that, we have just moved towards the bar plot, and after that bar plot, we have moved towards the cat plot. And inside this cat plots, we were having different kinds, and which I just told you all the things right now. Okay, so this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and bye bye.